Good evening. It's me, Tanjanika Johnson, and it's another episode of Blunt Talk. I have a guest today, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. My name is Edward Sugalski, aka the Monster. Just having glad to be here, man. Just glad to be alive, be able to get that fresh air. You already know.
That's right.
Appreciate the interview.
And I appreciate you coming.
You already know.
So, when I met you as a personal trainer, and it's about like 5 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to say 5 years ago or close to 5 years ago, around about.
Give or take.
And the reason why I put that timeline on there is because when I met you, I was smoking Black and Milds, heavy.
Yeah.
I was smoking them things since '95.
I remember.
And I had a conversation with you during our training, and you gave me a little tip, and I followed that, and I haven't smoked them since.
I love that. Listen, that's at the end of the day, man. Like anybody can have a job, but my job feels like I'm giving back, and it has purpose. You know what I mean? Where if I can help somebody do something, or get rid of something, or just improve their quality of life, that's what I'm here for. And
definitely.
That makes me feel good at night, just hearing that. Like you've told me this many times, but just hearing it in person, and like it makes me feel good that you were able to get that. And I feel like, okay, maybe I do got a nice little gift to be able to talk to people and help people to get, to another level, or to kick a habit or whatever, so that makes me feel good. It makes me sleep at night. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing.
I had to reflect back on it, because I was like, I gotta give him his flowers, because at the end of the day, like I said, I was smoking them things forever. And anybody who knows me knows that y'all used to call me Mrs. Black and Mild. Tell the truth. And I ain't care, because I was on them things like that. I didn't even buy the 5-pack. I bought the 25-pack. But, when I expressed to you that was something that I wanted to, let go of my life, and we had that conversation, we both connected spiritually, I must say. Our souls connected for that moment, and whatever had to happen at that moment happened.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for that, because some things stink. I don't know why nobody never told me.
And at the time too, that was when I was just like just kind of coming into the beginning of like higher consciousness and stuff like that. So, and I look to you as somebody who like had knowledge of like greater things that they don't tell you in society. You know what I mean? And like you were into the crystals, and that's something that I'm into them, but not to the point of how you were into them, where I know this one, this is for this, that, blah, blah. And so I was intrigued by that. And anybody can learn from anything, but I really learned a lot from you when it came to the crystal stuff, and
much
just
gratitude.
energy, and being able to, harness certain crystals, and what mood to wear them in, what mood not to wear them in, stuff like that. So definitely, got the knowledge. And I know you were selling, that had your kiosks at times and the table, and people were lining up, what I mean? So that's a good thing. That's a blessing,
And as we talk about that, first, much gratitude for giving me my flowers. Thank you.
Yeah, no, everybody should have the flowers before they die. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's so whack that people want to, boo hoo, when they like, give me that when I'm here. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
It's good for the soul.
But I know you got to get some things off your chest.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the floor.
All right. So I actually wanted to talk about the concept of aging. Actually, that's what I had in my mind, and I actually just had a epiphany, a good just high-rise moment in my mind, where I started to realize that aging was almost a lie, honestly. And we don't have to age according to what they tell us to. Like somebody says that, we can only live to 120 years. Well, who said that? Who's the person? Find me the person in the history of the books that said that we can only live to 120. When we read other scriptures and other texts back in the day, people was living for 500, 600 years old. So you're thinking, well, where did that come from?
Right.
And it's like, and why are we tapping into that threshold now? So it's an ideology of the mind. And if you're programmed every day and you think that, you know, oh, a year is a year. Okay, every year. So every year you're celebrating your birthday. You're celebrating the year that you're stepping into your life. And think about it when you're a kid. So you're 0 years old, 1 to 0, right? And then you go to 7. Think about the scale, the spectrum. Everything is going up. You're growing, you're getting bigger, you're getting faster. All these things are happening. Your mind is getting more sharper. But then it's like we get to a certain point in society where it's like, okay, now we're done growing. Now we're not doing any of that. Now it's going downhill. But what if I told you, instead of going here at that adulthood mark at like 30, you know, 25 or whatever they say, but you keep going up and you keep growing and growing and growing. So you understand that you can still get taller. You can still grow your body. Your cells are constantly replacing themselves. So if that's the case and we're not meant to grow, why are we still replacing cells and, you know, organs and things like that over time if we're not meant to have more of a longevity of life? And so I started really thinking that. And then I started thinking in terms of, I don't know if you ever saw this scale for the human, but you have 5 different type of heights for human. You have the 2 to 3 foot range.
Right.
Then you have where we're in number 2, which is 5 to 7 foot range. Then you have the next level is like 8 to like 12 feet. Then it goes to level 5, which the Sphinx or the pyramids, and you see like that guy that's in Egypt. That's how tall we used to be.
Right.
But because we're lied to, because of the pollution, because of the celebration of the birthday, the introduction of the Gregorian calendar, how society celebrates everything, how it's perceived to you, how you're taught this in the classroom from grade school all the way to college, and it's the norm. Right. So because you're pumped into a normal thing, you think that, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. But in reality, it's like, no, you have to be able to break from the masses and understand that there's a higher purpose here. There's a higher power. There's a higher understanding. And you have a higher power as well. And a lot of people always speak about a higher power, but we are a part of that higher power. And a lot of people try to sweep it under the rug and say, okay, no, it's just that higher power. I'm not a part of it, blah, blah, blah. But that's our essence. That's our energy. That's our mindset. So just to get back to the aging thing again. So I just learned that the calendar is man-made. And back in Julius Caesar, the calendar year was 422 days long. So that's how I knew that the calendar was man-made, and whoever was in charge was putting the days on the calendar. And now I don't know if you remember when you were a kid and you remember now, but the seasons aren't adding up when they used to be. So that's how you understand that that concept of time, that concept of the calendar, that concept, it's only day and night, honestly. And where the analytic clock is only here for us to rush to point A to point B. Oh, you got to be to work at 8 o'clock. If you're not here, then you're going to be 8:05. You're in trouble. So it's a stress factor. Running around because you're trying to beat the clock. So time is only here to stress you out.
Energy stealing.
Yes. And one of the biggest the agers of the body is stress.
Of course.
Lack of rest and bad food. Those are the 3 things that you got all 3 of them, you might as well dig a grave right now and just call it quits. But stress is one of the number 1 things, and that's all they do here in America is stress you out with everything. Taxes, this, that, get point A, point B. Here, come here, do this, do that. Oh, this virus. Oh, this, the news. So it's all these different things around you that are instilling fear in people, or just getting people anxiety, or feeling depressed or sad. All those are negative emotions that will age the body so much quicker, so much faster. And honestly, when I look at it from the outside looking in, it looks like it's almost done by design. Like it's done on purpose. And a lot of people are talking about it. People ask me, like, I'm 39 years old, but I say now I'm 30 years young. And I say that for everybody. Now, even a kid, you wouldn't like a 5-year-old. Oh, he's 5 years old. Why are you saying 5? Oh, we need to put him old with a 5-year-old. So he's 5 years young, you know? And now once you start to get away from the calendar, lose the concept of time, and just start to live life in the now and just be present in a moment, you start to see that time is really nothing.
Now, I don't want to cut you off, but you mentioned birthday a couple times, and
yes,
you know, since we're in this type of frequency that we're in, that wordplay has a lot to do with it.
Yes.
And another thing that will aid you is singing happy birthday to you, because it is to aid you. It's a spell put upon yourself, and a lot of people don't know that. So I've stopped saying that I'm 48 years old and I don't care what nobody say. I don't look like it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
return now.
And I said old, my bad, because I don't say old either.
Yeah.
And I do say solar return and stuff like that because we put these spells upon ourselves. Yes. But I'm gonna let you finish.
No, you're right. And just to tap in a little bit more of that, the English language was created as such. If you look at Latin terms or Hebrew terms and what they would say in America, they mean completely different things. And now, because everything is energy, and even my voice now, it's an energy. So when you say certain things or you speak certain things, you don't know what these sounds and what these energy vibrations mean when you're saying them, because you're taught that it means this, but in reality it's a whole black thing behind everything of like, no, it's this is not what it is. Oh wow. So I'll stop saying certain words, even the word understand. Or you understand me? When you think of the term, you're underneath, so you don't understand anything. You're like, you want to overstand.
Or even understand.
Yeah, or understand. Overstand or understand, because now it's not like, oh, it's I'm underneath of it, so I want to understand it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like little word plays like that, and then the word believe, the word lies in it, and you got believe. So, and the easiest thing that I tell people all the time to make that make sense: do you believe you have a mother, or do you know you have a mother? And most people say, oh, I know that's my mom. That's my mom. I know that the sun is right there. I know that this is a building. I know who I am. So once I don't believe who I am. I don't believe that's my mother. Because believing creates the doubt. Knowing is knowing.
It's so funny that you say that, because on Instagram I watch Chief Why Not. Shout out to the gods. He says belief is a lie is a cousin of the lie because of the lie. You know what I mean? I ain't even say it all the way how you said. I know you gonna watch this, you gonna get at me, but it's all good. I still shouted you out. But in the same thing with blessed. And a lot of people be like, oh, bless you. No, it's telling you to be less.
Yes.
I say bliss. Bliss you. Have a blissful day. I don't want to be less than anyone.
I started changing my lingo up with that, and I started to say, oh, you're highly favored. And so I say that now. I say you're highly favored.
Right.
Highly favored. And people look at me like, well, what does that mean? Well, you're just highly favored. But when you hear the term, it's like it's a good like catchphrase to hear from somebody else. You're highly favored. You know what? Thank you. I appreciate it.
We skipped the main one though.
The main one what?
The main thing that starts the day. That good morning.
Oh, morning. Yes.
Y'all have to stop it. And they're like, oh, it's spelled different. But listen at what you're saying. You're saying good morning. How can you be good and morning at the same time? Like, you have to really think about what it is that you're saying. And then you want to make fun of me because I'm saying grand rising. But I have a great day every day. I'm not morning.
Yeah. And I see the statuses on Facebook a lot from people like coming at people who say grand rising, oh, you can't trust them or this and that.
Right.
And now, don't get me wrong, I do feel like some are just jumping on the bandwagon and just saying it just because they're saying it, and honestly, they're not really good people at heart. But the people who are like, this is me and you, we've been on this wavelength and continuing to grow with it, since I've known you until now, and still continue to grow. But a lot of people that are using those terms at times are not are using them because it's a fad or because it's a part of the woke thing. But I don't like the term woke anymore, because I feel like now the mainstream media is whitewashing that and making it seem like people are crazy, this and that. No, that's a different. What I speak of is an awakening for you to realize that, wait a minute, this shit ain't right. Something out here is wrong. Something is off. Something is not right. And it's not even just one thing. It's multiple. It's a multitude of things. And so it's like that to me. I've seen so many different things, man, and it's just like, they do that. Have to keep going on. But I just had a conversation with my friend. She has a mass in her stomach, a mass, and they want to do an eruption. They want to do a biopsy on it. So when you go do a biopsy on it, so let's just say you have a tumor or something encased in your body. Now, when you go poking and prod it, whatever it's trying to protect you from, it's going to leak and spread everywhere else. So I told her, I was like, no, tell them that you don't want to get a biopsy on it. Tell them that you want that mass removed if it's already ruptured. If it's ruptured, then they're going to go in there anyway. Then why don't you just take it out? Why are you getting a biopsy and then go see it and then go back in there to go take it out again? So it's 2 surgeries, more money, all of it. So it's all geared the wrong way. America, especially, you know what I mean? That's just one of the underlying issues that I was telling you about. When you wake up and you have an awakening that something's not right. That's just one of the things. And there's many of things that are not right. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it is what it is, man. You just got to take it one day at a time and just learn yourself, learn knowledge, and just try to, maneuver the best way you can with your knowledge and try to apply it, So
That is true.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, a lot of people want to still say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist and this and that and that. But the government has already announced to you that a lot of things that you told us that we are conspiracy theorists about is here alive in your face. So now how do they explain that?
And that to me is the most baffling thing, because I'm like, you were here 2019, you was here 2020, you saw what went down, you saw what happened, and now we're here. Now you're gonna pretend like that ain't happened. You're gonna pretend like you don't know. You're gonna act like you got amnesia, you dumb or whatever. And it's just like, bro, like, what in the world are we doing? And it's like, and I thought people learned the first time. And I told everybody, 2019, 2020, make sure your health is up to par. Make sure you're working on your heart. Make sure you're working on your breathing, your conditioning. You're eating better. You're doing, because they doing things to people that are just inhumane and genocide. And everybody just wants to turn the other cheek and act like it's not going on, because they in their little perfect little life over here in this little box, and they don't want to be disturbed. But it's going to come a time where that little box, it's not going to be able to be protected for so long, because they're going to come and run through all of that if we don't step up as a whole and as a society and as just a people. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, man.
What do you think that it'll take for everybody to try to start coming together?
Well, I think, one, the people who are running the media and the people who are running like news networks and things like that need to show things of unity, need to show things of coming together, need to show diversity, need to show all of us getting along, not pinning us against this person, pinning against this. And it's like, and here in America, we're called the United States. But if you understand that all the rules and regulations for each state is different, we're the ununited states. You get what I'm saying? Yes. We're not united. We're ununited. And because think about it, right now, if I want to go walk out here and just go walk on Main Street and drink a beer, I get in trouble. I go to Vegas, do that all day. I can go and get an escort, which is another name for a prostitute. You get what I'm saying? So it's just, the laws here is just so mixed up in just every different state that the separation is already here, and the divide and conquer method they like to use. So we need to come together. We need the realization, and we don't need true freedom. We need true liberation, because freedom, you can get freedom, but if you got freedom to do dumb shit, like we can go out and go to the bar and get drunk. That's random freedom, but go ahead and go try to pitch a tent on the side of the road, or try to grow some food on farmland. Watch what happens.
Right.
Cop going to come out there, county something, going to say this and just start. So you're not truly free, and people don't see that, and they put you in a box. So you buy your house, case in point. Now you gotta get a permit to put a deck on, but your house, you paid for it. It's your house. Why do I gotta get somebody's permission to put a deck on my house? It's my land now. Like, why do I gotta do? But it's all geared for taxes. And then that's another thing, that every year taxes keep going up. We out here celebrating New Year's, and then boom, all of a sudden we're a weekend in January. Well, when this tax come through, or when this law come through? So they do it in distracting times, and that's what everything is, a big distraction, so they can go behind closed doors and do what they want and figure out ways to get more money from us, to enslave us through debt. It's crazy. Like the term hell, when you look up in Black's Law's dictionary, it's basically saying that it's a king and all of its debtors are in the basement and owe the debt to the higher. And it's crazy. That was the definition of hell. And it's like, wow, like it's here. Right. Just think about it. Like, I had kids that were 18 years old in school doing this. As soon as they got into the real world, they're like, yo, what the? They ain't telling me about this. And it's like, it's different. And it's like, I feel like they coddle kids and they try to paint this, oh, I believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then when they get to a certain age, it's like, nobody taught me how to live like that. Like, well, how do I do this now? And it's like, it's crazy. And I feel like we're destroying the kids. We're not letting them be kids. We're trying to put them in grade school at 5 years old. A 5-year-old is meant to run around and play and laugh and eat and joke, and they're not meant to be in do your work and
right.
They don't have that concentration. You know what I mean? So,
not just that. You said a couple things, and I'm mad that I ain't over here like this because we just went past it fast. But with the children, like, it's so important that the way that we raise them, the lies that we tell them, don't be a liar, and the first thing we do is what? Oh, it's Santa Claus. Oh, it's a tooth fairy.
Yeah.
Why would we do that?
Yep.
Why would we raise them with such bullshit, knowing that, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll tell them, oh, don't you lie. Don't you be no liar. You're not allowed to lie. But we were the first liars.
You were right. And even like when I look deeper into Santa Claus, it's basically you're worshiping a more of an evil entity.
Of course.
And we don't know that. We just, oh, just fat white man with a beard coming down the chimney. First of all, how this man gonna fit down a chimney?
First of all, not everyone has a chimney.
So it's like all these different things are there, and I get it. It's, for me now, I look at holidays as family day, but every day for me is family day. But because of all the schools, all the system places are all lined up in sync at the same time, so when the holiday is here, 9 times out of 10, everybody's off.
Right.
So we look at it as family. Now, my family, some of them are still celebrating the holidays, but me personally, I don't give 2 shits about them because I understand what they stand for, why they're here. Think about it, Christmas time, they want you to be out here running ragged, spending a bunch of money, yelling at people,
arguing,
you know, and that's what they want. They know what they're doing. And it's just like, and I watch my friends every year, like some of them are getting hip to it, like, yo, you know what, Ed was right, man, but like, this is just whack. Like, we rushing, we doing this and blah, blah, blah. Like, why are we not, you know, doing this or doing that? And it's like more and more people are seeing that, and you still got some people, oh, it's, you know, it's for the kids, blah blah blah, but you can still get them a gift and they gotta call it Christmas, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But
and you won't have to wait until that time, because it's all energy stealing. If you ask me, it's mass energy stealing.
It is,
because even if we go into a religious standpoint of the aspect of everything, what does a Christmas tree or Santa Claus has to do with Christianity? And I'm saying that Jesus was born on December 25th when he really wasn't. If we want to get into that one,
that's another
but this is what they choose to celebrate him on, and this is what, I mean, it's just so confusing and it's crazy because it's the norm and everybody is onto it, and when you go against what their norm is, even though it's wrong, they look at you like you're wrong. It's like they sugarcoat the lies and shun the truth. I can't live like that, and I refuse to do it.
And we've gotten so used to that, and it's like I said, it's coddling the kids, and it's like, nah, like, first of all, you ever see a grown man fall? They might break something. You ever see kids fall? They get back up like nothing happened. They actually tougher and stronger than us. We don't ever want to give them that credit. And it's like, oh, and now in the mind, we're trying to like mold them and do certain things, but children have the most awakened minds because they're playing, they got imaginary friends, they doing this, they making mud cakes, they doing make-believe stuff, and then we get to a point where we get our imagination and our creativity stolen from us because adults are telling kids, oh, don't do it, you know, and it's like, so now they want to conform and be like everybody else. Oh, grow up, get a job, get a house, get your car, but not knowing that all those things are debt slave tools to further put you in a hole. And it's like, oh, I got this, got that. And like, well, who said I got to have it like that? And think about how houses are built here now in America. And you go see how houses are built in different countries. Why do we have to live it like that? I've seen people where you go to third world country where the house is really nice, just big open space, but they live like this in a big open space where they got a kitchen over there, they got a table over here, they got the bed over here. And it's like, who made us that privileged to feel like we gotta have our own separate room for everything? And you think about it, all the separate rooms, separation. So now the familyness is not together no more because everybody's in their own room. Especially you kid get 12, 13 years old, you never see them. They be locked in their room. But imagine having an open family. We here, we talking with each other. We here, I can see you, I'm around you, you know. And it's like, but we're in this American society where it's like, oh, you gotta have a 4 or 5 bedroom house. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. It's gotta be like that. And we're convinced that, you know what I mean? So it's like, I just feel like half this American ideology is just bull crap. You know what I mean? All here geared for profit, all here geared to take advantage of us. And then the different people from different countries come here to sell to the American, you know what I mean? Because it's like they're just buying up anything. And it's like, and I don't fault them for that, because if you got a market and they gonna buy it, then hey, fool for you not doing it and fool for them for doing it. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like America's just on some other shit. It's like it's a business here. It's a corporation. It's
Definitely.
And even you, like technically, like if your mom signed a birth certificate, you don't own yourself.
And
That's the
that's
crazy
true.
part about it. You know what I mean? And people they don't want to have that conversation because they're getting into like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? So for me, it's just like we gotta keep speaking the truth, keep saying it. Because you saw when I used to speak the truth on Facebook, how people just came for me. They were saying this, saying that. Oh, Eddie, you crazy, you this and that. And I'm like, nah, I'm just real. I just see like that. I'm not trying to fake it no more. I'm not trying to like pretend to put the blinders on a horse and say, yeah, nothing's going on. No, I was like, nah, bro, we got to do something because our kids are going to be growing up in this world. Because if we don't fix this shit now, what do you think they got in 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now? You know what I mean? And their grandkids, you know, and all that different things. Even you know, not to go off topic, but all this is connected if we keep it real. But just with the COVID, the stimulus they gave us, all that money. That's not for us to pay back. That's for our kids and our grandkids to pay back. They got it down on a loan that goes down to like 2060. You know what I mean?
And that is
like
crazy.
They have it built, so that's how they can create all this debt. And we're like, well, how are we not going under? Because they're putting it out so far that they're going to make our kids pay for it and their grandkids pay for it because that's how they're doing the debt instrument. So it's like, and people don't see that kind of stuff, and they're just like, oh, well, Eddie, you're a conspiracy theorist. Well, if I'm a conspiracy theorist, why is that going on? And I was like, it's easy for people to store around that term conspiracy theory because it's like you make it seem like they're crazy, but if you really think about it, most of the stuff that's been going on right now has been conspiracy theories. You know what I mean? You remember that one movie was called? That was on Netflix that everybody was getting like all crazy about because it was like depicting like real life events.
Which one? Because it's been a lot of them.
With the one where the ship almost came on to the.
Oh yeah. I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
But then they showed two pictures of the cars, and the one that happened in the fire that happened down in Maui, and then the fire that happened down in California, and they showed like how the cars all stopped, just like all the Teslas did in the movie. So I'm like, yo, like, how is that? Like, nobody's seeing this stuff. Like, this is like, it's weird, and because my third eye is unclear, I see a lot of stuff. Like, case in point, it's funny, right? So like, say somebody in the corner over there, right, and they looking around and like looking at them, they want to scratch their butt or something like that. I see things like that.
Of course.
So it's, and I don't mean to. It's just like it's just the sense of like, are you up to something? And I'm knowing it's like a sense. It's like, okay, you was trying to hide because you try, but you want your privacy. That's cool. But that's how I understand like my third, like, and I see things, I hear things, I like things go past, and then even if I don't see it, because where my spirituality is at and where my energy is at, I'm protected. So even if, like, say like one of my kids came, they were gonna punch me in the back real hard, like playing around, they miss. Or somehow they trip. And I'm like, I look back, I'm like, oh, okay, see, I told you, yeah, you keep playing with me. And we laugh and joke about it, but I'm like, that's that natural spiritual protection where you're not going to get hurt because you're not out here trying to hurt people. You're trying to do good people. It's all about your inner. And if your inner is cool, then the outer is cool. But if your inner is just all the time, it's like, then the outer is just a lot more rougher. It's like your GPS, you know? So it's like I always tell people, whatever you want to be in life, whatever you want to do in life, whatever you want in life, how you want to be treated, mirror it to your everyday life. And once you do that, man, just things get a lot easier. Now, it's easier said than done, you know what I mean? Because you got kids, you got a spouse, you got this, you got that, co-workers. It's tough. But the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. And then there's things that you would just snap over all the time. Now it's to the point where that's not even worth my energy because I know how I feel after I'm done yelling and rah-rahing about it. You get what I'm saying?
There's certain tools you could use to help along, like getting grounded, meditating, doing your shadow work, really. Starting with that. That really is like the first.
Deep breathing.
Yes. If you need help with any of that, hit me up.
Exercise. If you need help with any of that, hit him up. Man, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Do some stuff in here. So it's just like doing the things that are natural. Because we tend to, in America, we get distracted from so many different things. But you got to keep in mind, like, listen, what's real? We got the sun, we got the moon, we got the air, we got the land, we got water, we got people. You got animals. So those things right there is what you want to start to get more into. Once you get more into those things, then everything else falls in place. But if you get out of touch with nature, and because we are nature, we're of that essence. And when we're so out of touch with it, it's like, oh, it gets cold outside, I'm not going outside at all, or I'm not doing this, or oh, I'm scared of the water. It's like, but you know that you're made up of mostly water, and we're talking about we're scared of water here. Like, so it's like little things like that where people just have to, open up to. Oh, you see a little bug crawling, I'm gonna go kill it. No, it's minding his business. Why you gonna take a life? You get what I'm saying? So for me, I like to respect all life, whether it's human life or an animal, whatever. It's just having a respect for life. I feel like people ask me what my religion is. I don't really have a religion. I say I'm just a spiritual person, and I respect your life as much as I respect my life, and I see you in a higher regard than 9 times out of 10 that you'll even see yourself. And I look at everybody as gods and goddesses.
Yeah.
And most people don't acknowledge that. They think that it's so this or so that, but it's like, but if you want to continue to grow and get better and not age like everyone else, you have to start to understand these things and overstand these things and practice these things. And once you start doing that, it's like everything does get easier. Now, it's not easy, but it does with time and practice. Anything becomes second nature,
And that is true.
So, yeah.
So, do you give anybody any suggestions on how to begin to not age?
So, how to begin to not age? Look at all the food you're eating. Start looking at the back of the ingredients. Start looking at, if you get something and you're about to eat it and you think, oh, I'm only eating a goldfish, but you look at the back of the ingredients and the goldfish has 1,000 ingredients in it. Well, you're not eating one thing, you're eating 1,000 things, and your body has to process all of that. And a lot of those are toxins and impurities, so that's going to further age you. And think about a car, right? Your drag strip in the car. It needs gasoline to run it right, correct? You can't go in there and throw water in there, or throw oil in there, or throw whatever. It's not going to run right. And it's going to blow pistons. Well, when you're putting crap food in the body and you're trying to run and rag it, that's why that you get those big, glossy, teary eyes where people look tired all the time. Is because their energy is not refurbishing. It's not moving around. Their soul is not moving. It's blocked up by all these toxins, impurities, and all these different things. And, so it's just start with breathing, start with clean water, then get into your fruits, your vegetables, and then also it's your thought process. People think that it's just a physical thing. No, it's a mental thing. If I can show you a chart, if I take 20 kids that live in America from the ages of 0 to 5, and then I take the same concept and put another 20 kids from 0 to 8, and then let them get to 5 and put them on the island, but they don't have no concept of time. Those kids that are 5 years old in America are going to look a lot older and a lot bigger, a lot more manlier or womanlier in comparison to these kids on the island. Right. Because they don't know that, they don't understand that, and they're not taught, they're not grilled it every day. They're not looking at a clock every day. They don't have a cell phone with a number on it every day telling them what time it was. So all that day, what's today's date? That's what they teach you when you first get into school, dates and times. Yes. That's what they want, because they want that to be there, and they want that to be the foundation of your thinking. But like me, I tell everybody, for your every 1 year, my every 1 year is probably 8 years for somebody else. You get what I'm saying? And it's I've seen people that I've seen 5 years ago, and I've seen them now. Wow. And it's just what is going on? But that's the ideology of the way they think, of the calendar. They're celebrating their birthday. They're eating all this bad food, alcohol, this, stress level, no rest, doing bad shit out here, cheating on this person, cheating on that person, stealing from this person, all these different that. So all that is adding to your aging. And people don't understand that it's a collective group. It's just there's so many things that you want to get rid of, but you got to start somewhere. And the easiest thing is to tell yourself that time is not real, and you live in the now. Because if we go back an hour from now, it's still going to be a now. And if we go forward an hour from now, it'll still be the now. So it'll be in the now and that hour. You get what I'm saying? So if people don't, or even if you travel back in time 20 years ago, it'll still be a current singular point, a moment of now. Because how we're talking right now, we only have this moment right now. We don't have 20 minutes ago. We don't have 20 minutes ahead. We have right now. So whatever when you understand, you start hanging out in the now more and start losing the concept of time, then the aging factor starts to go away. And once you start to understand that I get younger, I get bigger, I get stronger, I get leaner, I can grow big. And once these things are in your head and you're thinking these all the time, you become what you think. and it's bringing it to your reality. So, and that happened to me like now I've always knew the concept of aging, but to actually put that scale that I just gave you, where I say from 0 to 5 and then keep going up as we get to 25, 26, we're done growing. Well, show me the person who made the literature to say we're done growing, and then I'll go look him up, research him, and see that he was played for somebody else's side that was bought and paid for a scientist. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay, so we can just keep going up, keep evolving. Because how did you think those people got to 35 feet tall? How you got to 18 feet tall? Because the society as a whole was taught something different than what they're teaching society today. You see what I'm saying? So if they get the masses, now if you teach the masses great things, we can move mountains with our minds. We can fly. We can do different things. And it sounds weird when I say something like that, or crazy, but you can do certain things like that. And
we definitely have abilities.
But because we're so dumbed down, we're lied to, the food is poison, the water's poison, the air is poison, even like the psychology of certain things is just weird in this insane asylum. Think about this. If we don't have water within 5 days, what happens to us? We perish, right? We
start to dehydrate.
Yes. And that leads to things of organ failures, different things like that. But yet they charge us for that. Think about that.
That is true.
To me, that's an insane asylum ideology, the fact that we have to pay for water. Look at the water bill, this and that. And then now we can say heat and air conditioning. So you mean to tell me air is all around us? Now we have to pay to have hot air? And we have to pay to have cold air? And it's like, what? And you really think about it. Somebody really had the patents to make air, hot or cold. How? That's God's opportunity. That's most high stuff. Why are we doing that? Same thing, no disrespect, I don't knock nobody's hustle, but same thing like, people selling land and selling houses. Like, that's God's land. That's Most High's land. That's for everybody to use. That's not for one person to say, oh, I'm going to claim it and then sell it to somebody. You have no right. Because if Most High was down here right now to see what the hell has been going on, this would be like, oh, man. But when you truly understand that the Most High is our eyes and what we see and what we're allowing, it's like, we got to do better. We're the spiritual protectors of this realm. We're supposed to be helping out the animals, not slaughtering them by the millions and millions every day. That just throws off the equilibrium and the spirituality of this place. Because in Mother Nature, I feel like it's not going to take too much of it. You get what I'm saying? It's like we need to do better as a society, as people, to protect nature, to protect things of that sort, and we don't. We decide to protect the Christian mall. You know what I mean? Oh, middle of Wilmington, somebody call, hey, I'm getting robbed right now. Cops don't come 30, 40 minutes later. Christian mall, they sitting there because I said it's a high price. It makes them a lot of money, so it's all about the money. It is. And it's like, well, I feel like my life is more important than that mall. But tell it to the certain systems, no, your life is not. And what are the police really here for? They're to uphold a system, uphold certain things. Yes, you got some cops that go into it with a good heart, and so there are good cops out there, but once they start to get into it, you get a cop that's in there that's like 10 years, 15 years deep, have a sidebar conversation with them and see some of the shit that they're going to tell you. Like, damn, you didn't even know it was that corrupt. Because they know, the newbies, you get away with, oh, I want to protect the service. Same thing they use with the army. Get these people that got good hearts that, oh, I want to serve my country. They use good people to do dirty deeds. And that
is true.
It sucks so bad to see it across the board because people are like, oh, Eddie, you seem like you're a military man or you be in the military. Hell no. Because you got two people at the top, thick measuring contest. Oh, I want to do this, do it. And it's like, we're fighting, and then you take people that got kids and no, you take him and put him in the arena, you give him a sword, and you sort that shit out. Exactly. Stop using innocent people to do it. And it's like, when I speak like that, people hear that. People know, it's like, damn. But when I speak to people who are in the military, once they hear it, and it's like, at first they get offensive, but then they're like, you know what, Eddie, you were right, because I had to deal with this, I had to deal with that, and, case in point, not to, give you a sad story, but there was a lady I met maybe about 3 days ago. She told me she was a former Army vet, not getting nothing from the VA. She had orders, basically, long story short, I can't make this shit up. She was on tour somewhere, but there was a baby, and the baby had an explosive device put in it. Baby was alive.
And she had to kill the baby.
Sergeant on the phone, you gotta kill this baby.
It's
She
the
was like,
truth.
no, I can't, blah, 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 I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. And she had to do it, or she was going to face severe consequences. And
Or
I'm
it could
talking,
have killed her.
yes.
So
So she had to do that, and she's been so messed up ever since then, and no help from the
ask her,
VA,
can I interview her?
help for this and that, and it's crazy. So
I would like to interview her.
I'll
So,
get in contact with her. And see.
We're gonna have to wrap this up.
Yep.
We can always do a part 2.
Oh, we got to.
But definitely reach out to her because I would like to get her on here.
Yeah.
And my tip for you to stay young is to frolic. An adult or not, make sure you tap into your inner child. Have fun, frolic, play, run around, dance, do all of that because that will keep you young.
And never say you're too old to do something.
Yes.
Because when you do that, you're committing to dying.
Yes.
So always say, I'm youthful, I'm young, and I can do all these different things. Be like a kid, run around, jump. You see them playing, jumping, doing certain things, living dangerously. These are the things that keep us youthful. Because now when you get into your 60s, because you didn't do any of that, you fall, break a hip. But if you were to stay active that whole time, you fall, you're not breaking a hip. Stay young, my friends.
Now, I don't want this to cut us off, so thank you for coming on Blunt Talk.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
I don't want to, we're going to hug.
You already know.
And I look forward to having you back.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Have a great night, everyone.